Well, hey guys, so these videos here, we're gonna just be playing with our personal horses and really treat them like a real life training session, what we would do if there was no filming. So our hope for these is that we can kind of bring you behind the scenes and show you what a day in the life really looks like. Some of them will be team sessions like we're doing today. Some of them will be individual liberty. Some of them will be bridleless riding. But we really just want to provide a variety and just show you guys really what we work on day to day in a little bit of a different format than we're able to do on other social media channels. So I'm going to start by just walking around and warming up these girls just like I would by myself here. But as I do, I'm just going to talk a little bit about these three horses for those of you that maybe haven't been following us on other pages and don't know who they are. So first here, closest to me, this little gray mare, her name is Indigo. And Indigo came to us from our rescue project that we did in 2022. And she is a rescue mare that was originally found in an abandoned herd in Texas. And she was a really, really challenging horse and was thought that maybe she couldn't be ridden. And so she came and was in our rescue project, and we found that she really could be ridden through Liberty, and she's now actually my main riding horse. And then this little bay mare here in the middle, this is Tess. And Tess is a BLM Mustang. Hey girls, they're very eager this morning. She is a BLM Mustang that I got when I did the Youth Extreme Mustang Makeover. So she's been with me for quite a while now. And then the bigger mare here on the farthest away from me on the right is Nostalgia. And Nostalgia is an ex-bucking stock horse that came from Nevada. So she's got quite the story. She was also a part of our rescue project back in 2022. And she came in because she was so feral that she actually jumped out of her pen at her rescue and escaped into the desert and was out there for about a week before they could recapture her because she needed water. So all three of these girls have quite interesting stories, and they're all rescues, and they're a part of our rescue team. You'll meet the boys half of the team here shortly when Patrick gets his boys out. So after that, hey, they are just ready to go this afternoon. So I'm just going to kind of back them up there when they push into me. And we're going to walk forward again. We always like to warm up by just going for a little bit of a walk. But if I feel them pushing into me or pushing forward, I'm going to go ahead and make a correction. And Indigo and Tess are by nature a little bit more pushy horses. They're pretty comfortable being in your bubble, whereas Nostalgia is a little bit more on the shy side. So usually when I'm working them on the ground, I have to be kind of a little bit more assertive in making corrections and asking them to move over. So there, Indigo kind of pushed into me. So I'm just going to ask her to move that shoulder away because she did it a couple times there. Go on, girls. There. Thank you. And then we'll go for a walk again. But this is always how I like to warm up, just going for a walk and seeing where they're at. And it might be just one little lap because they feel good, or it might be like today where I go a little bit longer until I feel them soften a little bit. So now I'm going to come through, change directions here, and ask them to go the other way. And this side is good for Indigo and Tess because it pushes them out a little bit. And their job is to kind of stay level with Nostalgia. So instead of trying to get to me, they should kind of stay with Nostalgia. And this side is their tougher side because Indigo's a little overeager and always wants to get back to my shoulder. There, that's pretty good, girls. And I don't really worry if Indigo gets forward here. I just keep walking, and then it'll kind of level itself out. If she were to get far enough ahead that I really needed to make a correction, I would stop and back them up. But I want to try and let them kind of sort themselves out and even themselves out. There, that's feeling better. All right, so now I'm going to come here a little bit towards the middle. I'm going to go ahead and stop. And here I'm going to ask him to go to back up to get a little level with the team. Good. And now something we've been playing with a lot recently is separating and taking one horse at a time. So I'm going to put my hand here on Tess and Nostalgia, asking them to stay. And I'm going to ask Indigo here, there we go, to step away and come with me. And the reason I got her out is because she's the one that's feeling a little bit kind of pushier this morning. And I just want to get her out and work her a little bit individually. Just kind of see how she's feeling and get her a little bit more connected. But I like that I can bring the whole team out and do this because it's a really good practice for Tess and Nostalgia to just stand there and learn to be patient. So I'm going to go for a little jog here. Good girl. And so, like I thought she might want to, Indigo wants to go back to her girls. So I'm not going to make a big deal of it. I'm just going to try and ask Indigo to stop here. And then Tess and Nostalgia think they need to keep going, so I just ask them to stop, give them a pat on their head again. Good. And then ask Indigo to come out with me. Come on. Shh. And then when Tess and Nostalgia think I'm talking to them, I just put my hand up to let them know that I'm talking to Indigo and not to them right now. Because this is a pretty new concept for the three of them. I haven't done it a ton, so it's a little bit of a challenge to have their team right there and to know that they're supposed to stay with me unless I ask them to go join up again. There, that's a little bit better. But she's still pushing into me a little bit more than I'd like. So I'm just going to go towards her here to move that shoulder away. Keep going towards her until I feel that shoulder soften away. Good girl. And then a nice lick and chew. This is actually great because they're not being perfect. And Indigo is showing kind of her true colors and some of the habits that we have to work on in a regular session. So I'm going to walk towards her now. There. I want to feel her just move away when I come towards her. Give her a little bump there until she moves away. And I'm going to just wait and see here. I see that Tess and Nostalgia started moving, but I'm just going to wait. There, that was better. Good girl. Just kind of wait and see what they did there. If they were to keep moving, I would go ask Indigo to stand and go make my corrections for Tess and Nostalgia, but they kind of figured it out and went back to their spot. Girl. All right, so now she's softening a little bit, licking and chewing. I'm going to go ahead and ask her for a little circle here. So I'm going to step back, ask her to go around, ask her up into a trot. Good girl. And if I feel her over bending or coming a little too close, I'm just going to pick my stick up a little and ask her to straighten out. Pick my stick up a little, good, and straighten out. Pick my stick up. There you go. Because I like that she wants to come into me, but I want it to be a little less extreme. I want her a little bit straighter in her body. There, that's better. Good girl. Step back and let her come in. There you go. All right, we're going to switch directions and see if we can get that the other side. Usually she's a little straighter on this side. Give her a little cluck here. That's better. See how her neck is straighter? And she's given just a little more space on this side. That's kind of the distance and body shape that I'm looking for. A little bend is good, but I want her body to stay straight. Good girl. And then I step back and let her in. There you go. Okay, that felt a little softer. So So I'm gonna come right here, turn her around, ask her to stop, and now I'm gonna just cue Indigo to stand. So I'm gonna put my hand here, ask her to stop, and I'm gonna walk away. If she were to follow me, I would go ask her to back up, but I'm not gonna assume that she's gonna follow me. So now, one of these girls is gonna come out separately next. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and ask Nostalgia to come with me. So I'm directing my energy towards Nostalgia, and I'm asking Tess to stay. Good, and then I'm just gonna go for a little walk with Nostalgia here. And I always like to start whatever I'm doing by going for a little walk. So it just tells me where my horse is at and make sure they're connected. Good. And I'm always kind of aware of what my horses that I'm asking to stand still are doing, but I don't like direct my energy towards them. I try and just kind of keep them in my peripheral vision, and if I see them moving, then I get ready to help them out and give them a little correction if needed, but I don't want to focus on them. There, Nostalgia's feeling pretty connected there at the walk. So I'm going to turn here and ask her to circle. Just lift my stick up a little if she comes in. Good girl. And then I'm going to stand still, keep my energy up, and see if she'll just maintain that speed around me. Good girl, that's nice. Now I'm going to come change direction here. And I'm going to ask for the same thing this way. Ask her to start circling. And then keep my energy up. There, she just got a little slow. So I just give her a little cluck. Pick up that whip if I need to. 'Cause my energy here is just me keeping my shoulders up. I want her to just find a little more rhythm here. But see, she's still thinking about stopping. There, that was better. And then I'm going to step forward and let her come in. There, good girl. Okay, I like that, so I'm going to go ahead and now ask her to stop. Right here, put my hand out. And then I'm going to walk over to Tess. And so I really want them to understand that they can stay separated, stay in their spot, and they just listen to my energy when it's directed towards them. And now we're going to go for a little walk. Okay, Nostalgia there wanted to come join up. So I'm just going to ask her to back up. Okay, put my hand out here, ask her to stop again, and then ask Tess to come again. I don't really make it a big deal, but I do address it and make a correction. Then my correction is asking her to back up, and then I go back to what I was doing with my other horse. Nostalgia is a little bit like the overachiever, so she always is the one that tends to want to come join the other horse and be a part of the team. So I don't want to make it a big deal and make her worried. I just want to let her know, hey, it's your turn to just stand and hang out, and someone else is going to work. Good, so I'm asking Tess here to just go for a little jog with me. And then we're going to come over and transition into a circle. This is a little test for Nostalgia because I want her to stand still, even though Tess is circling kind of close to her. Here, good girl, Tess. Change directions. Ask her to circle this way. Good. I'm gonna up my energy. Ask for a little canter. Good girl. And then give her a little pet. Good girl. Okay, now I'm gonna ask her to stand here. And I'm gonna go and start collecting them to work together in a team of 3 again. So I'm gonna walk over and start with Indigo. And me stepping up and just petting her is kind of that release. Saying, all right, I'm talking to you again now. Give her a little cluck and ask her to come around here with me. And we're gonna walk around and go over to Tess and pick her up next. So I want to make sure that I go and I pick up that next horse, that they don't just go and join each other, so that it's very clear that you only leave your spot if you are asked to, so it doesn't get too confusing. So now I'm going to come over, I'm going to kind of sidle up here next to Tess. She's already ready. Line them up, and I'm just going to pet Tess here, let her know that she's now coming a part of it, and then we're going to go for a walk together. And first we're just going to do a circle around Nostalgia. It's kind of a little test of wait here until we get to you, and if they get a little forward here, we'll back up, and then we'll walk forward again. And then we're going to walk over and pick up Nostalgia. So we're going to kind of get up next to her and ask them to kind of line up here. Good. And then I'm going to pet Nostalgia here, let her know that she's back with us. And then I'm actually going to switch directions here and go for a walk with all 3 again. And this is a lot of what we've been working on when I work the 3 girls on the ground in a team, is just separating, coming back together, and understanding those different cues. They haven't been working on it for that long, but they're really starting to pick it up, and it really helps them understand really clearly when I'm communicating to one of them versus multiple. Okay, so now we're going to come here to the center, and I'm just going to ask them to give a little circle here all together. Good. 1 circle, and then we're going to go ahead and walk forward again. And this is their tough direction to circle too, because Indigo can get a little bit racy and want to kind of get up almost in front of Nostalgia. So I like to just go for 1 circle and then walk forward again to remind her that she doesn't need to worry about getting up in front of Nostalgia. We're just going to do a circle and reset. Good. And when I go straight, you can see they kind of start to straighten out here. So Indigo's getting a little too far in front than I'd like, so I'm just going to make a correction here, ask her to back up. Good girl. So I give her a minute there to get herself back level, but if she continues to go past, then I'll make a correction. There we go. Okay, now we're going to come ahead and change direction. So I'm going to ask them to go around, and now Indigo's on the inside. Good girls. That's going to stop again. That's nice. I want them to all stop level with each other. And then we're going to walk over here towards the middle, and we're going to try a circle in this direction. Usually this direction they're a little bit tighter, because Nostalgia is just a little more comfortable being on the outside. Okay, so here I'm going to transition to a circle, and I want Indigo to stay out far enough that she's straight enough that it's easy for Tess to stay with her. There. Good girls. And then when they've done a good circle, I'll walk forward again. and ask them to straighten back out. If I feel Indigo push into me, I'm gonna walk towards her. So if I feel her push in, I'm gonna walk towards her and ask her to move away. Yeah, good girl. If she speeds up, that's all right. That's why walking straight is so helpful with a horse that wants to push into you, because instead of always turning away, I want to practice turning away and then walking straight so that Indigo has to move away from me. Good, and then I'll ask him to stop there. Now I'm going to ask Nostalgia to just bring her butt a little more level. Give her a pet. Good. And then I'm going to ask all three of them to stay and go for a little walk around here, just to show that they also can stand and wait when the three of them are together. So if my energy tells all three of them to stay and stand, I want them to listen to that too. Good. And then I'll give everyone a little pet here. Say good job. And that's a little look into what a team session might look like and the different things that we'd play with.